hear hippies saying they want to connect to the earth and ground by walking around barefoot, talking about the electrical connection to the earth. Sounds like a bunch of crazy stuff, right? Well then, why don't we try this out? With PlantWave, you can connect one electrode to a plant, and then you can hold the other one in your hand. And then what happens is that the connection between that plant and your hand through the earth happens, and you can hear it as music. If me being barefoot actually makes a difference in terms of my electrical connection to the earth, then by touching the metal here, we will hear music. You think this is real? Let's check it out. Seems pretty real. Hey friends, I just want to take a moment to address some questions that are coming up in the comments. First, my feet are in soil. It's a sandy soil that we have here near the beach. You'll notice it's the same soil that the plant is also growing in. I'm not on a deck, I'm actually on a trail. There's a small fence between myself and the plant. The fence is wood. The metal is isolated from the actual PlantWave device. What's going on is we are actually demonstrating this connection between the plant and my hand through the soil, through my feet. So that's what's going on there. Holding the electrode already. I'm holding it in my hands. Shouldn't it be making music? Well, no, because I am standing on flip-flops. I'm standing on rubber. So the way this worked yesterday was that we were demonstrating the connection between that plant and my hand through the earth and through my feet. But since I'm standing on rubber, you're not hearing a connection. There's no music. What happens if I stand off of the flip-flops back onto the soil? And of course, yes, this is soil. It's a sandy soil. So let's check it out. Check that out. These are some of my favorite trees in Los Angeles. They're called coral trees, and they're on the border between Venice and Marina del Rey. Unfortunately, they're set to be cut down by the Department of Beaches and Harbors because developers want to replace them with a sign where people can take selfies. I wanted to have a final moment with these trees, so I grabbed my PlantWave and I went to the park. Let's have a listen to the song of the coral tree.
It's the book of 1 Chronicles, chapter 16, verse 33. Then shall the trees of the wood sing out at the presence of Yahweh, because he cometh to judge the earth. Shalom, shalom. First off, I'm giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Yahweh being the true name for the Heavenly Father, Yahushai being the name for his own begotten Son, the world eagerly calls God and Jesus Christ. And give double honor to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone that taught us truth and will. And salutations to you, hopefully, like pushing the truth and honesty, sincerity. This is Brother Yawasap, coaching us the spirit power Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. And this lesson is going into trees, and how they are living beings, another living creature created by Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. They have a huge importance, obviously, to the earth for the fact that they produce oxygen. But it's not just oxygen. They provide shade, okay? They help stabilize the land to prevent landslides and things that go on, and also provide food and medicine. and shelter. They're really important. And Esau, Edom has destroyed the earth. So when the Lord returns, the earth will literally sing in his presence. So what you just seen is Esau was able to come up with a device for you to hear the music that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai hears. And the earth itself, nature, animals, other trees, they actually do have the ability to hear each other. Because, to our ears, without the Lord giving us spiritual power, or without that type of technology, you can't hear music, But, some of the indigenous people that were really in tune with the land could physically hear that music. You got to have such a high, heightened sense of your brain being activated from eating so pure and living off the land so clean, to where those senses are, unlocked for you to be able to hear the music. Because those electrical signals, as you can see, travel up through the ground and physically into your body. And once you're reach a certain tune of spirituality, you can actually hear those songs. So the music you heard, the little chimes, they weren't wind chimes. Those were physical electrical signals that were sent and picked up and tracked with that device. And they basically, each one of those electrical signals, the guy set up the box to where a certain tune plays. Okay, well, these trees can hear these signals all the time. So that's music. So that's what the scripture is talking about. Literally, the trees are going to sing out the presence of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai when he returns. And we're going to reach a level within our spiritual bodies to where we'll be able to hear that music as well. This is the book of, let's see here. I'm going to go. This is the book of Isaiah 14. We'll start at verse Isaiah 14:7. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. Because the feller that came up against, the feller goes into a person that falls of trees. That's what that word feller is going into. Someone that fell a tree that he cut down. Esau, Edom has cut down so many trees, man, to convert them into all types of stuff. And cause massive amounts of deforestation. This is why the earth is out of balance, because Esau has done nothing but destroyed this earth. He's done it through his mining for oil and coal, creating all these automobiles, okay, cutting all these trees down for farmland and paper and construction. Everything's all messed up. Instead of using a more reliable source that can grow faster for building and using stuff such as something like bamboo, Esau chooses to cut down trees and way too fast, and does not honor something called the land Sabbath within the scriptures. So because of that, the whole earth is feeling the pressure and is depressed and stressed out, because Esau, Edom, is just constantly putting that squeeze. He's that boa constrictor, man. Because the scriptures reference Esau, Edom as being a snake, and all he does is poison and constrict the earth, man. So even physically, the trees, they will be heard rejoicing at Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. They'll rejoice, and they will physically speak and say, since thou art laid down, no feller has come up against us. So the trees can actually communicate, man. Which is, that's really miraculous and beautiful to see footage like that as evidence. Alright? This is the book of Deuteronomy 20, verse 19. When thou shalt besiege a city a long time, and making war against it to take it, thou shalt not destroy the trees thereof by forcing an axe against them. For thou mayest eat of them, and thou shalt not cut them down. For tree of the field is man's life to employ them in the siege. So you have some Edomites, man, that will, when they go take over a territory, they'll literally burn everything down. They'll burn the whole forest down, man. Or while he's camping and enjoying it and being selfish, he's not being wise and doing safe practices, and we're willing to burn down an entire forest because he wanted to have a good time. You know? So there's literally laws in place to protect the forest. Verse 20 says, only the trees which thou knowest that they be not trees for meat, thou shalt destroy and cut them down, and thou shalt build bulwarks against the city that maketh war with thee until it be subdued. So even if you did cut down a tree, it says what? You are to use it. You don't just cut it for the hell of it, man. You cut down any tree, it needs to be for use. But if it's able to bear fruit and meat, you ain't supposed to touch it. Okay? Because trees, yes, they are life. It's a purpose to these scriptures, man. See, a lot of people don't know things like this exist in the Bible, because the Bible is like a blueprint to keep everything in balance. Everything. Ezekiel 47:12. And by the river upon the bank thereof, on this side and on that side, shall grow all trees for meat, whose leaf shall not fade, neither shall the fruit thereof be consumed. It shall bring forth new fruit according to his months, because their waters they issued of the sanctuary, and the fruit thereof shall be for meat, and the leaf thereof for medicine. So you have meat and medicine, man. I mean, everything trees offer, even when it comes to colognes and perfumes. Like for colognes, for example, one of the number one most expensive scents to make cologne is from a tree that's called a oud, or amber tree. And a certain fungus gets into the tree, and as it's eating, the wood, it releases an aroma that is extremely good to smell. So when you burn it, it releases that, or you can extract it into oil, and you take that oil and you make perfume. Like you got some companies called Tom Ford, really, really expensive brand of cologne. I mean, I'm talking cologne bottles costing over $600 for a bottle. They charge that much because of the process to extract that scent from that one specific tree at a certain place on the earth. So yeah, trees are a huge benefit. Another good tree called Palo Santo, man. It's also called Holywood in English. That tree, you burn that bark of that, man, it smells heavenly, man. A lot of trees, man. You even got like jackfruit trees, man. You take jackfruit, and you can actually cook that and make it taste like pulled chicken or something like that, man. You have the mango trees, all types of stuff. Oh, coconuts. You got your electrolytes from there, protein, and then you can make coconut oil, which is the best thing you can use in your mouth for your teeth. There's been some evidence of it can help teeth grow back. So why is Esau got to cut them all down and destroy everything? He'll cut them down purposely for real estate, and then won't even use the wood. He'll just chop it up and grind it into wood chips and burn it. And that's off, man. That's wicked. This is Leviticus 25:2. This is going into the land Sabbath. And then if everyone honored this land Sabbath, we would have more than enough trees. The earth would not be in pollution right now and global warming. Leviticus 25:2. Speak unto the children of Israel, and say unto them, when ye come into the land which I give you, then shall the land keep a Sabbath unto Yahweh. 6 years thou shalt sow thy field, and 6 years thou shalt prune thy vineyard, and gather in the fruit thereof. But in the 7th year shall be a Sabbath of rest unto the land, a Sabbath for Yahweh. Thou shalt neither sow thy field nor prune thy vineyard. So that year number 7, you're supposed to take a break from farming. On that, whatever part of the land you used to farm, that section you're supposed to give it a rest. So if everyone did this, imagine the growth that would come. Imagine the ecosystems that would be restored. And this applies too when it comes to logging. I mean, yeah, you do have to cut down some trees for homes and things like that. But if you honor this, you would have so much more regrowth. It says, that which groweth of its own accord of thy harvest thou shalt not reap, neither gather the grapes of thy vine undressed, for it is a year of rest unto the land. So that gives the plants its time to regroup, regrow, repollinate, and be fruitful again. It says, and the Sabbath of the land shall be your meat for you, for thee, and for thy servant, and for thy maid, and for thy hired servant, and for thy stranger that sojourn with thee. Okay? It says, and for thy cattle, and for the beasts that are in thy land, shall all the increase thereof be meat. It says, and thou shalt number the 7 Sabbaths of the years unto thee 7 times 7 years, and the space of the 7 Sabbaths of the years shall be unto thee 49 years. All right, so that goes into the land Sabbath. That's a law. It's in the scriptures, man. So seeing that video of those trees and plants producing music really should make you think of what you're doing when you're just destroying a plant or something like that. You're cutting that off. This is why it's good to practice something called grounding. Every once in a while, you should walk barefooted in grass and get that energy inside your body, because it's beneficial to you. It's beneficial to your brain. You know, your body needs that electrical charge. You know, we are like Dr. Sebi says, your bodies are supposed to be electric. You're supposed to eat alkaline foods to basically be in tune with the earth. And once you reach a certain level, you might be able to hear that music. You know? This is Revelation 11 and 18. And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants the prophets, and to the saints, and them that fear thy name, small and great, and shouldest destroy them which destroy the earth. So in the end, when the Lord returns, he's going to give us the permission to destroy everybody that destroyed the earth. They're going to get punishment for that. They're not going to get away with it. Because you got these people not just destroying the earth, but destroying the oceans too, man. It says, Leviticus 19 and 23, and when ye shall come into the land, and shall have planted all manner of trees for food, then ye shall count the fruit thereof as uncircumcised. 3 years shall it be as uncircumcised unto you. It shall not be eaten thereof. But in the 4th year all the fruit thereof shall be holy to praise Yahweh withal. And in the 5th year shall ye eat of the fruit thereof, that it may yield unto you the increase thereof. I am Yahweh your God. So you're not even supposed to just eat of a tree. If you grow a tree, right, and it produces fruit within that first year, which a lot of trees that like apple trees and things like that, or avocado trees, To the best of my knowledge, some of them trees don't even start making fruit till almost 7 years after you plant them. But if you do have trees that do bear fruit before then, you're actually supposed to wait, what the scriptures just said, 3 years. You ain't supposed to touch it. Okay? But in the 4th year is when you're supposed to be allowed to eat that fruit. Which, anyway, you got to really look up on what type of trees you plant. In fruit trees, a lot of them, they take years before they even make fruit, for real. And when you don't eat the fruit, you have an increase, because you might not be able to eat it, but you can still buy, at least save the seeds, and you're gathering all those seeds, during the years that you're not eating the fruit, or you're composting it, and you're making your land more fertile. You see how everything is perfectly in order and balance when it comes to the scriptures? The Lord literally covered all the tracks to where we shouldn't have any issues in the earth with global warming, none of that, if we just stuck to the scriptures. But because we broke the commandments and we let the scriptures and threw them on the ground, we allowed these devils to pick it up, and they didn't take care of any business that was supposed to be done. So now the earth is destroyed. But it's alright though, because the Lord said he's going to cleanse the earth by fire, and we're going to destroy them that destroy the earth. And he says that we're going to make the other nations into continual employment, which means the other nations are going into a slavery. And the scriptures say 1,000 years. So during that 1,000-year time frame, they're going to clean this shit up. All plastic, all bodies, all oil, all metal, anything that is not biodegradable. All the nations that are underneath us, that's going to be their task, to clean this shit up for 1,000 years, man. So, Lord's will, this lesson was edifying. I just thought it was pretty cool. That little video came across with the trees basically singing through the invention, the little device. That was pretty dope. So with that, I'm going to close out. Give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash. The honors to the elders and the apostles, great millstone, taught us the truth of will. Salutations to you, hopefully pushing this truth on honesty, sincerity. Shalom.